Hi, I'm Stephen Englander. Thank you for joining me tonight. Don't forget, you can actually watch this podcast in all sorts of different ways. You can use Spotify, you can use iTunes, you can use anything. And if you can't watch me on your favourite because we're not on it, do let me know. We'll make sure we are on it. Just remember, we do this podcast as a way of promoting our brand, because we are, at the end of the day, accountants and bookkeepers. So we are hoping that you will get more value from our service by watching this if you are a client, and it'll tempt you to come and join us if you're not a client. So thank you for joining me again. Tonight, we're going to look at Graham's favourite subject, which is to do with Nazis and Nazi collaborators. It's only a quick little mention. And I also want to explain to you about the extended loss, where you can carry back losses against profits for several years now, and people being fed up with using COVID as an excuse for doing shoddy work. And we're going to look at some interesting comments that have been made during the week, as well as asset stripping for dummies. We're going to tell you how to asset strip. So, okay, let's just talk about these Nazi collaborators. Graham, this is your area, isn't it? Because you're probably related or connected to every Nazi in the country. But
why would you say that, man?
I just don't know. But it's an interesting area because there are companies that have done really, really well in the business world. Like, you've got IBM and Volkswagen and Coca-Cola, and at one point they did work with the Nazis. I mean, I think Volkswagen and Kodak were actually created by the regime at the time. But I'm not saying don't deal with these firms or what horrible evil firms they are. I'm saying that sometimes businesses have got to adapt to where they are. And businesses, they've got to survive. So if Coca-Cola had Hebrew taken off their cans because the Nazi Party didn't like it in Germany, then if it helped them survive, then that's what they've got to do. And if they marketed that drink as the drink of the Nazi Party, well, what are they to do? I mean, I'm a Jewish firm, but Accounts Direct, if we were living in that sort of regime, would we do the accounts of the Nazi Party? Probably not. But you wouldn't either, would you, Graham? Would you do the accounts for the Nazi Party?
Well, no, but I'm independent.
No, you couldn't do a set of accounts
with the poverty that comes with that. Yeah, that's not my area. Would I make promotional material for Nazis?
Yeah.
No.
I
mean, you're a bit of a fascist, but
What do you mean by a bit?
Well, you're a bit authoritarian, aren't you?
No, I just like things done properly. I can't be doing nonsense.
Yeah, but when we have discussions about government, your idea of things done properly is, as so long as the trains run on time.
That's a terrible thing to say.
It's interesting, though, what you say in terms of what would you do in that situation. And what have you heard of something called the ESG?
No.
Is
it something to do with rainbows?
It's the environmental guidance thing in America, but companies won't invest with you unless you've got a high ESG rating.
What does that mean?
Well, it's environmental, social, something, responsibility
so
goals.
You've got to be politically correct and do the right thing.
And if you're not, you won't get listed. You won't get. People can't. But
this is what I'm saying, Graham. I'm saying that a lot of these companies merely adapted to what was fashionable at the time.
Exactly.
Like we can't say he, she. It's identified with whatever, isn't it, and stuff like that. So that's so I suppose the lesson here is: do we forget morals and just do what society expects of us, or do we just soften our own personal beliefs and go with where your customers want and that society wants you to be?
I just say as well, Colin's joined us. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
All right.
Okay.
He's always in. He's here every week because he's a good lad.
He doesn't have a life, does he?
Well,
Okay. I always say that people watching this, they're not getting enough sex. Sorry. I mean, we're in the studio, so what does it say about us? Sorry, Colin, hi. That's Colin Manford. Looking forward to you.
Sorry. No.
Oh, it's not Colin Manford.
It's a nice Colin.
Oh, sorry, I was about to be really rude then. Sorry, it's not Colin Manford. It's thanks for joining, Colin. So now, just something I mentioned before about COVID. It's coming to an end now, and there's loads of firms that there's been loads of complaints that people are using COVID as an excuse for bad and shoddy service. I don't think anyone in my place has ever said, we've got shoddy service down to COVID. We've usually got shoddy service because probably I've answered the phone or someone's asked me to do something. No, we don't have shoddy service. We just don't. But it's interesting, isn't it, that a lot of these companies that the complaints are against are about the utility companies, the telephone companies, the government type services, the rates departments. Interesting how complaints for them were there way before COVID, but now they've got COVID as an excuse. Yeah, have you found that?
Yeah, like that British Gas. They've all been shirking off, haven't they? Eh?
Well, there was shit into service anyway. I mean, they were really I hate phoning these firms and banks. It just takes life away from you. Okay. But, you know, talking about crummy service.
I love that. That was just your old man shouts at clouds segment, wasn't it?
Well, I think...
Go on, let us know who's wronged you.
No. No one's wronged me. We have a lovely day today because we had our first workshop at 3 o'clock and loads of people turned up for it. Yeah, right. Thanks for coming, those of you still in the audience. Do come along next week, though, because we did have a laugh today and the conversation got a bit heated when we were talking about branding and staff that aren't very good, but we were talking about Nazis and we were talking about shoddy service, so I think it's only right to mention HMRC. No connection there, but they have announced that the extended loss carryback. What happens there is that if your company's made a loss, you can offset those losses against profits in the current year or go back a year. So now they're saying they can go back a further 2 years. So if your company has made losses, it's really quite fair. It's quite nice. It's a nice thing to do. It's a decent thing to do. So if your company has been making losses in the last year or so, do let your accountant or us know, because it is a valuable little resource that HMRC have introduced. Interestingly, I've got another one here. It's normally, I was reading, I don't know if you heard of Reddit, but I quite like Reddit because they're so sarcastic. It's
yeah, I've heard of Reddit, mate.
Yeah. I thought you might, but you go on the paedophile section, don't you? No, sorry. Reddit, it's there's one called Illegal Life Pro Tips. And one of the things I found particularly...
Wait. Why are you on Illegal Life Pro Tips, though?
Oh, don't try and be clever. So you told me to go there.
Oh, is that
you
right?
know you did. You showed it me. What do I know about Reddit? But no, it was quite good because it was saying that people should support small businesses more. And they should support them by not shoplifting at small companies. Only go to bigger firms to do your shoplifting. So I thought that was quite good. They're saying that there's also another problem because smaller family-owned businesses are more likely to have a brick or some sort of weapon under the counter. So if you are going to go shoplifting, do go to the bigger firms. Where do you go shoplifting, Graham?
Wait. Did you say go to the bigger firms if you go shoplifting?
Well, if you're going to go shoplifting...
If you're going to do it...
This is what this article is saying. Don't go shoplifting with small firms. It's not fair. Have some community spirit. Go and shoplift at Tesco's.
I can't say I don't. Obviously, it'd be hard to disagree with that. But isn't it weird when you meet people who really think they're a decent person because they only shoplift from us?
Do you know, there are other ones. There's other kinds which is really good. Tony's in the audience. Can we just focus on Tony? No. Tony works for us. Tony's one of our leading business managers. Tony, where do you go shoplifting?
Anywhere that'll have me.
Okay, there you go. Your mum's.
Always mums.
No, Simon, another member of our audience. Hi, Simon.
Hello.
You don't go shoplifting. You put things back, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
It's
He's never been very good at that. Anyway, I think that's a great little article. That I'll try and find some more like that. Give good tips all the time. But I think, did you know that? What was that company that's just gone into administration? The cafe group, Frisker.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of them, by the way. It's probably partly why they went into administration. If I've never heard of
it's a chain down south, and they've just gone into administration. And it got me thinking that, when I used to be in the business of buying and selling clearance stock many years ago, I used to look through the papers about who'd gone into liquidation, and I used to contact the official receiver or the local insolvency practitioners to see what I could get. So sometimes when a company does go into bankruptcy, and especially for you parasites out there and people that are looking to make a few quid, there's often assets and asset stripping that you can go into the official receivers, just give them a ring, or go online. There's companies that are the next step down from the official receivers, and there's always pallet lots and container lots, and there's always stock. Maybe have a look out for it. And if you're into that type of thing, I do know a few people that deal in that. But sometimes, when a company has gone into administration, it doesn't mean say they're dead, and there's still opportunities there. So, and quite often, the receivers will do a deal with you to maybe take over the company. And you're probably thinking, why do I want a company with loads and loads of debt? And once a company's gone into receivership, the debt's pretty much gone. So it's whatever deal you do with the receivers.
So wait.
Go on. You like that, don't you?
How does someone like me get into this?
I think the first point that if you contact insolvency practitioners, and they're in the phone book, or online these days, sorry, show my age again. But if you contact them or you contact the official receiver, they'll sometimes put you on a list and say, okay, well, we'll see you. I mean, normally you have to go to the same private school that they went to and be into the same sorts of things that they're into, so we won't discuss that. But you can go online, and there's lots of companies that handle this type of stock, and if you get to know them, because it's about to get to know anybody, they'll often give you a ring and say, hey, I've just got this load of stock, I've just got this machinery, I've just got this, just got that. It's worthwhile just registering wherever you can. You can always say no to the stock or whatever it is that's been offered. But it's I know people I know have bought brand. I mean, I know it's a big thing with Boohoo and people like that have bought big brand names out because the brand themselves have got value. A friend of mine's bought out a brand that was madly worldwide in the 1980s and 90s, and then the company went into liquidation, and he picked up the brand for a few £100, literally. So it is worthwhile looking at this type of thing. It's a great way to expand your business if you've got a brand that is in people's subconscious. So there's lots of things to go at here. So that's asset stripping. Who hates Amazon? Do you hate Amazon?
I adore Amazon. I love them.
You're just...
I want some batteries here tonight. They'll get them here tonight.
Do you know, I think as a trader, I think what Amazon need to do, I think they need to put on their contract some sort of warning, like a public health warning, to say that, look, guys, come and deal with us, but please know that we will steal your customers, we will copy your products if they're successful, and we will undercut you. Because that's what they do. They're putting people out of business. I've spoken to 2 people this week. One of them's been penalised because of the point system, where people make a comment about your product. It can be anything from it's got a scratch on the packaging to it was a bit dusty. They do a strike against you, and that's how they get more money out of you. And they also will do a returns policy.
I didn't know about any of this.
But knock it off your bill. So if people know how to play the system, they'll get your gear for nothing. It's awful. Set up your own. I mean, Amazon and all these people are great for getting the ball rolling, but it's very difficult to pick up a database, a customer database, because unless you've actually sold something, you've not got people's addresses or contact details or anything, because you can't get them via Amazon. And the way they just freeze money like crazy at a whim, it's disgraceful. I think if a lot of smaller companies acted the way they do, then they'd not only be out of business, they'd probably be in prison as well. But I believe Mr. Bezos has made a run for it, hasn't he? He's escaping all the press. He's nipped out to the moon or Mars, or wherever
he's out of the company now as well. Someone else taking it. He's gone. He's done.
Yeah, but he'll still have his money.
Well, yeah. He's not going to walk away with nothing.
No.
Become an artist.
Yeah. Do you fancy going into space?
I'd love to go to space.
I would. I know you space out a lot, but that's not the same thing.
I think it's one of my secret desires. Yeah, maybe
as space.
But with my income level, I mean, what am I looking at? When I'm a pensioner, maybe.
Yeah.
Some tourist flight or something. I'm certainly not going up in the next 10 years, am I?
I don't know. I think someone will blow up at some point. I don't know.
Just fire me.
What were we talking about before? Because I've got to change subjects now, and I've got to give Graham some warnings so we can, when we put these as snippets, he can put names up. And have you ever heard of Chanel?
Yeah, of course I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever been near one of them?
I don't know what it is.
It's the sort of thing that people, when you approach people, they go, no, don't hit me. And they've usually got a Chanel bit of jewellery or a watch or something.
Right.
That's probably where you've seen the brand.
Oh, is it?
Do you know, I do admire Chanel and Dior, and I do admire all these sort of high fashion products, all these companies, because I think that they are marketing geniuses. And I think we can all learn from people like Chanel and Dior and all the other big brands, because they're effectively selling a product at a price that is so far removed from the actual production cost of the goods. It's just unbelievable. I know we used to go to China fairly regularly looking for stock, taking clients out there. Do you remember, Tony? Do you remember going to China? And one thing we did notice, because we went to various different factories and we saw, like, for instance, we might be dealing in handbags, and we saw the cost of a handbag, and cost of a handbag tops £1, £2 to make in those days. So how some of these big branded firms get £2,000 for it, it's just mad. It's beyond, but it shows you how brilliant they are at marketing, because it's all about branding. People buy into the culture. You get fashion branding, remember, and you also get branding out of trust. Like, you'll go to Tesco's or Marks and Spencer's because you trust the brand. You'll buy something like Chanel because it's saying something about you. I mean, you've never seen anybody drive a Fiat because they feel they want people to say, "Hey, wow, look at me." Sorry to all those people that drive Fiats. I realise that Fiat also responsible for Ferraris, so my apologies. But no, they do, and they focus in on the market. They understand their market. They've embraced things like TikTok and YouTube and everything, and they're constantly moving. They're constantly recreating themselves, and it's something that people should be doing. People should be in front of the camera, on these TikToks. We've actually got a client, I think I mentioned before, he runs a fish and chip shop. He's had like 1 million views on TikTok because he's just filmed himself frying things like a fish barm cake or a sausage or something, and it's really quite addictive watching. And of course, they get to see your name and they get to know who you are. I mean, the beauty business is a massively profitable business, but you're creating. To really get the money, you've got to get the brand. And you don't have to be an international brand. You can be a local business that people recognise your particular style and everything that you do. And it's important to do with what people do. Like I've got one here. I've got a note here about that they're making edible beauty products. So the company in China are making edible beauty products, aren't they? So it's sort of like the Chinese medicine type thing, but they're being very innovative, and you've got like all that sustainability with which is on people's minds at the moment. So again, like the Nazi people move into areas that society is moving into. So people want sustainability. So I was reading here that there's actually a company owned by Tommy Hilfiger that is making cat food from, what are they making it from? From something. Can't find it here. What are they making cat food out of? Do you know, I've lost this one. It'll come to me in a minute. But from insects. Sorry, from insects. They're making cat food out of insects with non-plastic packaging, and it's not only making their brand look better because it's saying, hey, we've got really strong products here that are going with the flow of people wanting sustainability and good for the environment. And it makes sense, really. I mean, was your cat or dog care if it was eating insects powdered up to make it look like?
I don't think so. I don't think my pets would care one way or the other, to be honest. It's interesting, though, you say, you're talking about like the big brands using YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
At the moment, especially if you're a lady streamer, you can be very, very small and get sent stuff for free constantly, just because they're desperate to get it out there because they know just how powerful it is.
It is.
And on the other side, as we're filming right now, Ralph Lauren has paid for a trending spot on Twitter. And they're boosting someone called Syndicate. You know Syndicate, the Twitch streamer, Syndicate. He plays DayZ and things like that. I know it's right up your street. All that.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Well, Ralph Lauren...
Are you being rude?
No, this is true. Ralph Lauren have paid for Syndicate to be trending.
Do you know, I noticed you've been a bit rude today.
I am.
Twice you've shown me your backside.
Yeah, you touched it as well.
Well, you came over and said, feel this.
Yeah.
It was impressive, Graham. Impressive.
I know.
I'd say he's pretty firm there.
My,
you know.
my plums are holding on, mate.
But I
They
had
are.
to tell you to pull your trousers up because we didn't want to see that,
They are
did we?
plums. You're just
Plums means knackers.
not in my case, man. You've not touched them, honestly. You get them.
I'm
you'd be
not
like,
touching your
Do you know
plums.
what else is a massively underserved market that the
Go on.
big brands like L'Oreal are moving into? More specialised niche products like people with disabilities. So I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're doing something to make it easier with certain beauty products. So I'm not sure what that would be. Do you know, while I've got Tony in the audience, he did phone me a few years ago to say that he'd been playing with IMAC. So here's another market, and he'd applied it to certain parts of his body to remove the hair, and it was now burning. Plums. I just thought I'd get that in case people know Tony and they really want to look at that. Help me, help. You know, I've just got that thing in my head.
I've never had anyone say help me before whilst we're on air.
Yeah,
What's
because
going
now
on?
I've got Tony's plums in my head.
Right. Well, I tell you what. Let me distract you because I'm sure there's going to be some. Oh no, no. Don't worry about that.
Do you know there is actually a website I was looking at the other day called change.org.
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
I know change.org.
And it's really good. I mean, they do petitions, so people can sign up to petitions and feel they've done some
Yes.
good.
So rather than get involved in a meaningful way
Yeah.
with local and national and international
Yeah.
issues, you just sit on your ass
Yeah.
and tick change.
And sign the
and go,
I mean, there's one here
it's
that
done
they said
now.
help save Britain's hedgehogs with hedgehog highways to stop them running into the road. But you know what? You can do a lot of businesses. You can use it to your advantage,
Right.
Because you can go on to something like change.org, and you can actually put a poster in your window or something, or on your website, and you can sort of make it look like you're championing that cause if you care about hedgehogs. And a lot of companies do without actually doing anything. So you can just be lazy, you know, not interested. But it's, you know, people like that. So they come into your very, very uncyclable clothing shop where everything ends up in landfill. But you can put something on the window saying, you know, help the hedgehogs. And then you can get people to sign on, and that's a great way of capitalising on charitable endeavours. I mean, you've got the Save the Swinton Museum and Art Gallery. That's quite worthwhile. And there's another company that are petitioning to close down illegal dog meat farms across the country. Don't know. Have you ever had dog?
I think that's pretty racist.
What dog? I didn't mention a country. Did
No,
you
no,
let me mention a
I'm-
country? I
I'm-
deliberately left the country out.
I'm saying trying to stop them doing it. It's pretty
Yeah.
racist. It's
Why?
none of your business.
Why is
Hey?
it right? Why is it racist?
Hey, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them.
I don't
What they're
understand.
doing? What they're doing? Colonising other countries with the way you should live.
You're quite right, too.
Hey?
Oh, actually, I never thought
What
of
right
it.
do we have to go and tell them
Every
what they?
right.
Hey?
Every right.
Well, you know, cows cry when you're killing them. It's not like we're
But we
better
are
better.
England. We are a sovereign state. We are a world leader in everything. We should
Mm.
set examples.
Well, we do set an example. We don't
What?
boil our dogs.
Have you ever had
No one
dog?
cares,
Have you ever
though.
tasted dog?
Not knowingly, but I have some. I have. had
I'm not
meat.
sure with some of the things we've had abroad. I'm not sure. Look, I can see Tony in the audience grinning because he knows. He knows what I'm talking about. But, you know, no. Well, we had the quote of the day, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Did we have the quote? Because you've put a few other things here, but it's pretty dull.
Do you want me to? Do you want
Right
me
to repair laws. Should we look at that one first?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll not.
The right to repair. I don't. So manufacturers have to guarantee parts for 10 years.
Yes, this is huge.
Yeah.
And this is law now, and I didn't think we were going to do it because we left the EU. It came
Yeah.
in as part of EU legislation.
So
just as
some
we were
good
leaving.
came in.
I don't think it's good at all, but I can explain why if you like.
Yeah.
Because if you are the likes of Amazon, then you can afford to guarantee parts for 10 years. But if you're a guy on the corner or a guy around
But
here,
there's not many
you can't
people,
do that.
there's not many small firms doing this. But even so, they could always put a local repair section, can't they? I mean,
That's the thing. No, repair companies are going to do amazingly out of this.
Yeah.
Because they'll.
well, can you think of any actual companies that sell these types of products that are independent? because a lot of these products are so guarded by the manufacturers and the licensing and.
Yeah, I mean, but they do pop up though. I mean, If you go on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, people are selling new technology all the time.
I think this is a business opportunity massively, because it opens the door for people that would traditionally repair them to sell them as well, or people that just sell them to have a repair now. So I think it's worth looking at. So anything I say in the show, by all means, phone in or contact me about, or go online and research it yourself, because there's always business opportunities here. But we did say we were going to do the quote of the day, didn't we, Graham?
Yes, I'll get it up now. Would you like me to read it for you?
Please. Or do you want Hayden to read it for you?
No, we're good, man. We're good. That was more of a polite, I was like, always deliver. This is appropriate for tonight's show. Always deliver more than expected. And that's Larry Page, the co-founder of Google.
It's good, isn't it, when they do things like that? Because we just know that with a lot of these firms, it's just words, isn't it?
Yeah.
But delivering more than people expect, does that mean manage expectations, which is different? So let people think they're going to get less and give them more, so that, because there's a problem with always giving more than you expect and the customer expects, because then they get to expect more and more. And the prices go up and up. The best thing is to say, well, it does what it says on the tin, and then you can be extra delighted because it built within the costing is slightly more than it does on the till. So let people expect what it does on the till, but build in the extra cost. Be delighted that way. It's like people coming in here with the tickets, and they come in and they sit down, they have a great show, they have a great chat with me, then they have a great chat with Hayden, and then you come along and that's what they expect, and it was great. And then you come on and show them your arse and say, hey, have a feel of this. It's more than they expected.
Yeah, dude. My ass is amazing, actually. It is. I'm not having slander against that. You can call me a Nazi all you want and whatever. My ass is fantastic. On record, I'm saying that to you.
So now that we've reached rock bottom and we've come to the end of the show, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I want to particularly thank those people that took the effort to come and join me today. There's more people joining soon. And if you do want to join our show, just come along and just go onto the website, stephenenglander.co.uk, and just join, or accountsdirect.biz, and just join. And we'll see you live, and you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll answer as truthfully as I can, even on personal issues. And thank you very much for joining me. And it's been another delightful show, and I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Good night.